Oh, yo. What's happening? What's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another live hangout vid. No, I haven't done these live hangout vids in a long time. I want to make sure everything's okay, so let me check my volumes. This, that, and the third. Let me see if anybody else is in the chat. Make sure everything's okay, so let me check. Looks like everything's good. Hop, what's happening, man? What's happening, man? Well, sorry, I've been away for a while. I have been popping up here and there on the some live streams with EJ's live streams and unbiased the boxing talks live stream as well. Yeah, I've been away for a while, guys, because I had to take some time away from this. I actually left the country for a couple weeks, or a week, actually a week. I was away in Europe. I forgot to tell some of the guys that I was away in Europe. I was in France, and then I went to Dubai. So, you know, I had to travel a bit, get my mind off a few things here. Just goes to show that I actually have a life, whatnot. So yeah, the trip over to France and, you know, over to Dubai actually done to United Emirates has done some wonders for me. Great experience, whatnot. Not my first hurrah over it over in Europe. I've been to the UK quite a few times. Plan on going back probably next year. We'll see. You know, but other than that, may go back to Japan. We'll see. But I'm planning to do more traveling than I used to that I did before. And France and Dubai is actually the first step. So definitely I'm going to be doing some traveling, more traveling, and you know, just to see the world once again. Nothing wrong with that, you know. So yeah, Bad News Brown Boxer says, about time, damn, boxing needs the truth. Well, it does need the truth more than ever, man. You know, I can tell you one thing. It's funny that you see adult men go around and you know, argue all the goddamn time about certain fighters and threaten to kill each other over certain fighters, and threaten to expose people's personal lives over fighters. I mean, it's funny to me, you know. You know, but it is what it is. It goes to the fact that boxing, or it just displays the fact that boxing's tribalism is always going to be there and exist in one way or another. You know, one form or another, I should say. So, yeah, Hop, gonna give props to Anthony Joshua, perseverance, persevered through pretty stiff earlier opposition, eventually finishing his business. He's not nearly as flashy as Wilder, but he's a legit champion. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. As I was saying, guys, there's one thing you can't dismiss when it comes to Joshua and Wilder. Now they both are vulnerable. They both have some weaknesses. Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, something. I was on my my hotspot. Somebody tried to call through. They'll leave a message. But anyways, can you hear me now? Okay, good. Yeah, Joshua and Wilder are both legit heavyweights. You know, they're both subject to criticism, whatnot. They're both some. They both have differences when it comes to styles and, of course, the resume department. I will say this: Anthony Joshua definitely has a better resume than Deontay Wilder. That's the truth, and I'm a Wilder fan. Okay, I'm not going to blindly follow a fighter and not distort winner facts. Anthony Joshua does have a better resume. He's beaten better competition than Deontay Wilder. But does that mean we have to dismiss Deontay Wilder completely? No. You cannot dismiss Deontay Wilder completely. Why? Because he is a heavyweight champion. Regardless of what he has, you know, what he has on his resume, yes, it's not good, but he is still a legit heavyweight and he is a legit champion. Okay? And that's still a dangerous fight for Joshua one way or the other. Many feel, you know, it's hard to say who could win this fight. Of course, I'll pick Wilder to win it, but at the same time, I'm not going to be for sure. I'm not going to sit here and say that that's a definite win for Wilder. No, 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 no. It's a 50-50 fight. It could go either way. At first, I did say 60-40 in favor of Wilder. But given the fact that Joshua performed a lot better against Povetkin the other Saturday night, I would say, you know what? Maybe it's a 50-50 fight now because I did see some improvements in AJ's arsenal. He's starting to pace a bit better. He's starting to find his range. He always been good at mid-range. But what I was very impressed about, he was able to find some distance and a little bit of long range against Povetkin. So he's shown some improvements there. He's starting to move a bit better. Of course, he still has that stiffness, and he still has that stamina, the endurance issues that's still plaguing him. So that's something that he's going to have to find a way to work on. And the fact that he's dropping his left hand, I saw that in the Povetkin fight where he's getting clipped with those right hands. Nah, man, you can't do that against a guy like Deontay Wilder. Now, as far as Wilder's concerned, I know I don't want people come at me talking about why you're pointing out Josh's weaknesses, but not Wilder's. I'm going to get to Wilder's weaknesses. Wilder, on the other hand, yes, a very flashy fighter, very athletic, but he tends to drop his hands a little all the damn time, and that's why he gets clipped. And that's the thing about Deontay, and I mentioned this before, is like in the past, he's always good at keeping his high guard up, but nowadays he doesn't seem to keep his hands up like he used to. I mean, that's why he was getting clipped against Ortiz, and that's why he was getting clipped with that jab against Duhaupas, keeping his hands down. Why? Because he can take their shots. He's very confident in his punch resistance, and he's very confident in his power. Nothing wrong with that, but defense, you always have to pay attention to defense. And this is always the tendency of power knockout artists because they don't tend to they neglect defense to a certain degree. Kosei was very notorious for that, even though he had a great career, but his Achilles heels was always been his lack of defense. You know, same thing with Gennady Golovkin. Defense has always never been his great suit. You know, so yes, basically 50-50 fight now. Of course, I'm going with Wilder, my guy, but at the same time, I hope he wins it if they ever fight. And I have to say this, guys, based off what's going on, based off the shenanigans with Eddie Hearn talking about, then Wilder has to negotiate before December 1st, which is ironically the same day that Wilder and Fury is going to fight at Staples Center in Los Angeles, where I live, which I'm definitely going to that fight. I'm definitely being there. I'm going to be there. And I would say that I think that to me, that's a sign that they're not going to make that fight right now. It's just no way, because what they're trying to do is get Wilder to agree to the terms that's already set. They're not willing to renegotiate at that point. So Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua are setting their foot down on that. It's like, look, Wilder needs to agree to the April date or that's it. Which obviously he's not going to agree to it. So that April date's pretty locked in for Dillian White. We all know that's the fight that's coming up, that rematch, which a lot of people don't want to see right now. I mean, it's still a good fight. They had a great first fight on the domestic level before they fought on world level, which they've done quite well. They have, ever since they both fought. And to be honest with you guys, Dillian White and Anthony Joshua, I think that rematch could wait. I don't think it should happen in April, but it seems like that's what Hearn and Matchroom are going with at this point. And based off the polling and the fans' decision, the fans' view on this situation, which Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn put out, a poll on Sky Sports, only 5% or 4% don't. Only 4 or 5% would rather see the rematch than Joshua versus Fury or a Joshua versus Wilder. And as far as that's concerned, 53 to 56% rather see the Wilder fight happen in April. 42% rather see the Fury fight happen in April. But let's be realistic. None of those two fights are going to happen because Wilder and Fury has a rematch clause amongst each other. All right. And the fact is that the April date is already pretty much penciled in for Dillian White. If Dillian White can get past Derek Chisora on December 22nd, which is a pay-per-view fight for him, which will be Dillian White's second headlining pay-per-view. So we'll see. But let's go to the comment section here. Ross Clout, what's happening, brother? What's happening, man? And Rock 89 says, about time, Dan. Yeah, I know, man. Like I said, I've been away. I've been traveling. I had to, leave for a minute. I went to France and then I went to Dubai. So, went to 2 countries within a short time span. So, it is what it is, man. You know, I'm gonna be traveling a bit more, going to the end of this year and then next year. You know, so let me see. I don't have much time, so let me go ahead and get some guys in here and let's chop it up real quickly. Let me see. I'm gonna go to the chat and I'll get to the other stuff while they come on. I know it's late over in the UK, but you know, you got some nocturnal creatures over there. They're still up. I know it's about 12:41 a.m. I believe, or is it 11 a.m. 11:41 p.m. But some people are still up. They're still up, and I know Nyota's happy about Kosei Tanaka becoming a 3-weight world champion in his 12th pro fight, making history, become the first Japanese fighter to do that, and he's also tied Vasily Lomachenko's record of doing that in a short time span. And Tanaka's undefeated, while Lomachenko actually has one loss on his record, which many of the Lomachenko fanatics tend to forget about. They want to pretend that loss doesn't exist. Oh, man. That's funny. You know, looking at Tanaka's record, he's beaten 4 world champions at a 12 pro fights. He's got some pretty good names on his resume, especially like Mosi Fuentes and Angel Acosta. Those are pretty good, decent names. And then more recently, Sho Kimura. So, you know, that was a very good fight between the two. And definitely think he'll definitely go places. I mean, this is his 3rd weight class. He's fighting at flyweight now. He started at strawweight, then he captured a title at junior fly, and then he's at flyweight. Who knows? He probably can go up to 4 weight classes before his 20th pro fight. And the next step above flyweight is superfly. A very big, a bigger division with, another division with bigger men like Ramzasai, Sarisa Ket, and of course you have Netes who jumped up there as well. So then you have Quadras who's still hanging around, and Estrada still there. So yeah. We'll see. I think somebody jumped on. Who jumped on? Oh, EJ jumped on. What's going on, EJ?
What's going on, Dan? What's happening, bro? What are we talking about?
Man, we're going to talk about some stuff here, man. Did you catch the Kosei Tanaka and Sho Kimura fight that happened last night?
No, actually, I didn't. You know, no. What happened there? No, I didn't see that. Like after,
well, I mean, it's a flyweight, so not many people paid attention to it. But Kimura made history. I mean, Tanaka made history. He's the 3 division.
Did you see that fight? Holy shit, man!
That was a damn. That was put on McGregor. Fight. Yeah, that was a damn good fight, man. Could be fight of the year, man. We'll see.
It was that good, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a great fight, man. It was a great fight. Majority decision. Tanaka becomes a 3-weight world champion after 12 fights. Fair fucking play.
Yeah, he ties Lomachenko's record, but Tanaka's undefeated, while Lomachenko got to a loss on his record. So I know a lot of people I know the Lomachenko fans are gonna look at that and say, "Who is this Tanaka guy? Why should he get more clout like Lomachenko?" I'm like, well, I'm not saying that. Well, I mean, think about it. A lot of people.
The other thing is, he definitely did do it faster if you really think about it, because of him only being 23 years of age as well.
That's true. He's younger. How long has he been a pro? For 3 years now? 2 years?
Yeah, but he had like a year of inactivity, kind of.
That's true. That's part of it. But I mean, look, he's beaten 4 world champions, even though Lomachenko's beaten 5 or 6 already, but still good. Yep. And the fact he's undefeated. I mean, why not go on the pound for pound list? I know Nyota would have liked to defend him. I wish Nyota get on here. We can talk about that. But but anyway, guys, I wanted to go chop it up real quickly because I ain't got much time. But I wanted to talk to you guys about Lawrence Okolie, man. Did you guys see that fight with him and Matty?
Fucking disgraceful. Fucking disgraceful.
Man, well,
he's getting in the world. I think he's getting in the World Boxing Series. Yeah, like when I interviewed him before, like I mentioned about the World Boxing Series, I was talking about him versus Andrew Tabby, and he goes like at the World Boxing Series, he goes, "Oh, I could be in that." And I said, "Huh?"
You could be in that.
The fights have already been announced, though. The fights have already been done. Like, you can't fight in that. The 8 people are already announced for that.
The new one, the cruiserweight. I don't think the cruiserweight's been announced properly.
No, it is. It is done. Darticus is in there. Bradis is in there again. Fafer is fighting. The fights have already been made. Fafer's fighting to beat?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think there might be still room for number 2. I'm not too
No,
sure,
that was
but
done 3 weeks ago. That's been confirmed. They did the gala and everything live, DJ.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that cruiserweight tournament is already locked in, so Okolie cannot enter unless he
fought terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, I mean, he could get in unless he volunteers to be one of the contingency replacements.
He
could.
Yeah, that was terrible.
The way he struggled against Matty Asking, these guys, like, could you imagine him against Dordicus, man? Fucking hell.
Imagine him against fucking Gassiev. I mean, he ain't gonna do that to Gassiev. Gassiev is strong as hell. Even though he may be slow, but he is too strong, and he ain't gonna be holding and grabbing Gassiev like that. And to be fair, Okolie is a strong and big cruiserweight himself too. But here's the problem with that. This is the second time in his 3 fights that he pulled this shit off. He did with Isaac Chamberlain. I know some people are going to give him a little bit of a pass on that because, okay, this is the first time headlining a show. He was probably nervous. He was too anxious. He was trying so hard to please the crowd. He didn't want to get hit. He didn't want to get hurt. You know, he was a headliner. And I can understand that he was a little bit nervous right there. He was really out of his depth in that situation. But come on, man, you should have learned from that. I mean, you can't just sit there and grab and hold while you're in the clinches like that. You guys, I mean, there's nothing wrong with clinching, but if you're doing excessive clinching, that's illegal. And what I found surprising about that is that, he got deducted points. I'm trying to figure out is, okay, you got deducted 3 points, but how did one judge score at 116, 110? If he got deducted 3 points. The fact is that third warning should have got him disqualified.
I can actually tell you how that worked. I sat down and I did the math and I did it over and over again. And that judge scored it 11-1, but in terms of rounds where he was deducted points, he still gave Okolie the round at 9-9.
But it's still,
really?
Wait. But that's still average. Yeah, but that doesn't make it 116, 110 though. If that's the case, then maybe it should be 113, 110 if that's the situation. Or 108, whatever it is. Yeah, 113, 108.
It wasn't watching the fight, man. They wasn't watching the fight. I don't think they were watching the fight. They just gave the fight to Lawrence, man. And the thing is, Matty Askins ain't got no power. They already know that to put up a dispute. Eddie Hearn got so powerful that what is Matty gonna say? Who's Matty's promoter? Who's Matty's manager? They knew what time it was, man. When they came there for the payday, it was never gonna be like thing. It was like you know what I'm saying. Lawrence is always the Olympian. He's the golden boy. He's with Joshua. Like they was never gonna win that fight, man. Like no one's gonna. And to be fair, all we criticizing is the performance, but no one cared about the result, man. Like it's just it was bad, man.
I actually, I'm gonna be honest. I had Asuka win that fight by a point.
Yeah, Asuka. Nah,
I don't think he won the fight, but still, though, the principle is that the man couldn't do anything. He was being held and grabbed on the whole fucking night, and that zaps your energy as an opposing fighter. That's the shit that Klitschko used to do, and this is probably worse than what Henry Okiwonde did to Lennox Lewis. See, obviously, if this fight happened in the States, he would have got disqualified. Plain and simple. No U.S. judge was going. U.S. referee's going to allow that shit.
I blame the trainer because, like, I know the trainer. The trainer told him to do that because that comes with the trainer. Like, the trainer he has, I like him. It's going to show me, but they showed him that's old tactics to do. It's called spoiling tactics to do with that guy. If you can't get your punches, then just smash him and hold him, right? And that's what he's been trained to do. Because, like, I'm in the gym with guys, and fight. You know, you want him to fight. You want him to fight. So he's been trained to fight that way because in 2 fights, major fights, he's done that. And the thing is, when he did it on the first fight, Eddie Hearn didn't want no one to criticize him, right? Because I was there at the press conference, right? And he was biting his nails, waiting for anyone to say because no one wanted to say anything. You know why? Because they're worried about they're going to get their press conference revoked. But Eddie Hearn himself, right? When you see that fight there when he was ringside, he goes, "This is terrible. This is awful." But then what can Eddie Hearn do because he's Joshua Floyd? Eddie Hearn can't do anything because he's protected by Joshua as well. It's Eddie Hearn's fucked as well, man. I'm telling you, man, it's really bad.
Well, I gotta say one thing. After that performance, I think the British. I think on your guys' side of town, maybe you guys could attest to this. I think the casual British boxing fan are not going to want to see another Lawrence Okolie fight unless he approves against somebody more caliber after that performance. Because nobody wants to pay money to see shit like that. I'm just being honest. If he was doing that here in the States, he ain't getting away with that either. We would have trashed him over here. Like, bro, we ain't spending no money on you unless you improve on a better with a better opponent after that performance. Fuck that.
You don't live in England. Man. You don't live in England, bro. We put up with Johnny Nelson. We put up with everyone, man. That shit's still gonna happen, man.
You think so?
People are going. Think about it.
We put up with people. We put up with spoilers for the longest.
People are okay. People aren't even complaining that Joe Cardina is a headline of a Sky event, man.
See?
Oh yeah.
You know, I tell you, Eddie Hearn's got everyone hypnotized, bro. It's just the way it is, Dan. Really, like you're the first to think about that. I think you're the only person actually saying about the fight was terrible. I mean, on the night, I think we did, but other than that, no one's really going out their way to just put it on. Like Lawrence Okolie, he's getting shit on Twitter though. Oh shit, people are putting him on Twitter. Everyone's come out the woodwork. If you go on his Twitter, he's getting it left, right, and center. But no one's really making a video on it because it's just one of them things. There, isn't it? You can bring a whole heap of excuses. Oh, he's amateur, he has that many fights. You know, there's a learning curve, but bro, like 2 major fights, bro.
Yeah, that's the whole point. You did that in 2 major fights, and I'm like, and this again, it just leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. Like, okay, is this what we're gonna get out of our money from going forward? If you're gonna be in big fights like this, because you have to understand, people pay to see fireworks. That's the way it is, man. We live in a society where people like to see blood. They like to see violence. But the fact is that Okolie, I'm not saying that somebody needs to get hurt. That's not what I'm saying. Is that people are looking for entertainment. That's what I'm looking for. You can be competitive and not get hurt, but then it goes back to your trainer, like you say, EJ. Is the trainer teaching them proper defense rather than just clinching all the damn time? Is he teaching them to move his head? Is he teaching them to keep his distance, keep his range? I mean, what's the deal? What is he teaching them? What is this guy teaching Lawrence?
He's teaching him that he's been taught that by this trainer. And that's it, yeah. Because trainers teach a certain way, and that's why some guys don't really go with the amateur trainers. Because Shoni, I like him, he's a nice guy, but he's obviously trained Lawrence to do that way. And I'm around a lot of guys in the amateur gym, right? And they have this perception as that as long as you just use your jab, use your thing, and win the fight, that's all it matters. And I go, no. This is pro. You're a pro. Your job is to entertain the fans, win or lose, whatever. And people will come. You're not winning is one thing, but the way you win is important. It sticks in people's minds. But their only thing is that we don't have to be excitement. Just make it boring. You know what I mean? And they've been trained to do that.
Yeah.
To be fair, he does knock some people out. He does knock some guys out. But if he can't knock them out, he does that. So it's either Lawrence. You're gonna get a Lawrence either gets you and knocks you out, or you're gonna get a Lawrence who holds and clinches. That's what it seems to me. That's the way he's got. He's like 2-dimensional. Depending on who the opponent is. You know what I mean? And so you never know what's going to turn up with Lawrence. You never know who's going to stink it out. You never know who's going to knock a guy out. Because the next fight comes in, if he knocks the guy out, do we continue talking about his bad performance? Because he just knocked out Luke Watkins. So...
Yeah, I mean, that was okay performance. I mean, there was a little clinching going on in the Luke Watkins fight, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, but still, he got him out of there.
Yeah, because of Luke. Yeah, that's because of Luke. Yeah, because Luke wanted to fight him, like proper fight him on the outside. And then he got knocked out. So if you fight him on the outside, you'll get knocked out. If you try and get him close, he'll tie you up, which is pretty smart if you think about it. But it's not very good for us watching, is it? It's
not good entertainment. I mean, again, I know boxing is about strategy, but the fact is that you have to understand that people pay money to see you fight, and that's how you get paid, by people's revenue. If you don't produce the results that they're looking for, they're not going to invest into you. They're not going to spend money on you. They're not going to spend on a bad product. That's just the bottom line. So, I mean, I hope he learns from this. I know the backlash is not going to last long, but still, though, he really needs to understand now that if you're fighting at a high domestic level, eventually you're going to fight on European level, then the world level. You can't be doing that shit. I mean, there's people who really look up to you, Lawrence Okolie. You can't do this to them, man. I mean, real talk. I'm sure he understands that now. He's like, oh, fuck, man. I got results next time.
No, Dan. Go on his Twitter. He thinks I won the fight. I didn't get hurt. I didn't get caught. Oh, nah, he's proud of his performance, mate. That he's actually proud. Bro.
He may believe that, but he better. I mean, this at the same time. He's gonna have to understand it's a wake up call. Yeah, you didn't get hurt, but people. I understand that. But here, EJ, hold up. I understand that, but the fact is, people don't care about that. People care for you to provide entertainment. That's what they care about. They can give a fuck about you not getting hurt. I'm just saying that's the truth. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Dan, I agree with you, but on what he's saying, he said he's happy with the performances. Dan, so I was reading his Twitter and it was like, yeah, well, I've got the win, and like end of the day, my opponent just wanted to hold, and I move on to the next thing, and I was like, that seems he kind of because these days all people want to do is win. I agree with you 100% what you just said there. I agree with it's about entertaining the fans, it's about doing that, but he has done that. But at the same time, he's got to the point where it's like Matty hasn't got no power, so I can get away with this with Matty. You know what I'm saying? He's not going against another powerful promoter like a Sowlins or any things. He's going against a homegrown thing where he knows that the only way he can lose is if he gets knocked out. Other than that, he's probably going to win the fight, and that's what happened. What you saw there is a shift of power. You know what I mean? Of Matty, because really and truly, exactly what you guys say, he should have been disqualified. He should have been disqualified. The amount of holding he did was ridiculous, you know. And there was a headbutt gone in, and he hit him with the shoulder. It was terrible. But
EJ,
hey, that's what happened. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? Like, I'm looking at the World Boxing Super Series, and I'm looking at all of the opponents, and I just want to ask you: do you reckon this is who I think is the weakest in the tournament? Do you reckon Okolie would be able to have a good fight or even be competitive against Mastermack?
I don't even know who that is, bro.
I don't know who that is either, bro.
Jesus Christ, man!
Because there's some names there that is unknown.
Mastermack fought with Bellew, but he's beaten a few guys at that level, and like Christoph.
Lawrence could beat him. Yeah, Lawrence could probably beat a lot of people, but you see what you're talking about. You're getting to the point where it's like this guy is basically fighting like an amateur. It's what we're talking about. Basically, like an amateur and a pro fight on a pro card. And the amateurs, they would have probably disqualified you for that. That's what happened. 12-round amateurs, man. Horrible. It's really horrible. And the thing is, if you talk about that card, that Joshua card, the card was awful. It was awful.
Yeah, it was. It was bad.
What did you think of the Mendy Campbell fight?
Awful. Boring. It's just an amateur boxing exhibition, isn't it?
Yeah.
What did you guys score that fight?
Yeah, Luke won all the rounds, man. I didn't even give nothing to Mendy. Shit to Mendy.
Mendy won some rounds. It was a close fight, but I gave it to Luke. Luke he was able to rally back at the end. So.
I had an 8-4 to Luke. 8-4.
I had a 7-5. Even though he
wide though.
Knocked down, so 114, 113.
Both wide though, isn't it? It's both wide. See what I'm saying? See how wide it was. You know?
But anyhow, let's talk about this. I gotta ask you a question, EJ, before I bring up Joshua-Povetkin and Wilder situation. Before I bring this up, what happened with you in battle, man? Wanye Kess. I heard that last week.
He was talking about something, and he just said something really stupid. Like he said that Mike Tyson. Now he mentioned the top 10 now, and then he said a fighter that this guy deserved to. I was like, why Mike Tyson in there? And then he mentioned, I brought up something. I can't remember the fight he said. He said a fight over Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he mentioned Jersey Joe Wilcott over Mike Tyson. Okay.
Over Mike Tyson. I was like, come on. Then I said, to who did Jersey Joe Walker beat? Then he said he beat Joe Lewis.
Is it Charles?
Yeah, he said Ezra Charles. And then I said, who else did he beat? And then he couldn't answer the question. And he just carried on from there. He just couldn't answer the question. He started insulting. And I just thought,
I heard that right there.
So lack of knowledge. And then it just, at that point, I don't like, if he's in a conversation, I'd rather like just carry on and not even enter in a conversation with him because there's lack of knowledge. I don't want to get to the point where I'm trying to belittle people. But if you're going to mention the old school fight, that's what I like doing, innit? I like talking about Dan just disappeared on his own hangout.
Well, maybe we're still live. Sometimes the hangout can still go live.
We're still live, innit? Yeah. Anyway, so it was that. It was this. It's really. It's just boxing. This boxing really. It's not stupid. But yeah, in the you got the chat there. So why you got anyone in the comments in the chat? What we got in there? You got?
I'll go and have a look. Hop says Andrew Tabiti 4 fights since fell off. Oh, go on.
No, go ahead. Sorry, go
ahead. Hop said Andrew Tabiti 4 fights since fall of 2015. Scratches his head. 16 points total. He's 29. Yeah, he's not that active, Tabiti, unfortunately. But I think that comes under the fact he's not actually with Mayweather Promotions. He's actually with Amir Abdullah. And yeah, Amir's not really got much pull at the moment. Wing King says, "What up? The king of Wing Chun is here." But yeah, EJ, what did you actually make of the Povetkin Joshua fight?
You know, when I watched it, I remember I put money in it, so I was kind of looking for Povetkin and not Joshua out. But Povetkin done pretty good, man. He done what I expect him to do, you know. But Joshua just made Joshua and showed that he's got adjustments, and that's what you want. He got adjustments. To me, he looked like Vladimir Klitschko in there, man. With his his right up, and he was just peppering in the stomach.
He looked like Vladimir in there.
You know what? And I teach that in the gym. I teach that in the gym a lot of the fighters. I teach them the jab. I teach them the jab to the stomach and throw the right hand, and he done it perfectly. Perfectly got him in. And when he got him in, Joshua's a clinical fincher. Fast. He exploded, man. When he got someone hurt, his accuracy is tremendous, man.
Oh yeah,
that's
that was a very good knockout, man. Very good, man.
The thing I was going to say though is, it's a very good win for him, and you got to give him props. Look, here's the thing: we could criticize Anthony Joshua, but let's just give him his credit when credit is due. He got a very good win against Povetkin, a top 10 heavyweight, dangerous heavyweight, who won the first 3 rounds, in my opinion, made the fight competitive.
Yeah, I gave him the first 2. So I can't even argue. I only gave him 2 rounds in that fight. But yeah, I can't argue.
I mean, like I said, he made some adjustments. He's learned to utilize his jab a little bit better from long range. Just like Wilder, they both need work. They're both vulnerable. They need to work on their deficiencies. Like Wilder always tends to drop his hands all fucking time. That's why he gets clipped. I don't know why he's been doing that lately. He's just always keep his hands up early in his career. I don't know why, it's just like he's relying so much on his athleticism and power these days. So
there was one moment during the fight that really perplexed me, and it was when Joshua went into the shoulder roll completely side on, as though if someone would swing a hook, he'd be completely square. That freaked me out a little bit because I was like,
I don't know why he was doing that
against someone like maybe like Wilder. Wilder could expose that because of his reach.
Oh yeah, his reach, and he's got more power in that hand too. So
and he's got speed.
And he's got speed. Yeah. So that right there, I think
that was a glaring fault. A glaring fault because he did it a few times. I was just like, why are you doing that? He was even letting himself open for that overhand right from whenever he did that because he was getting rid of keeping that jab flicking up to keep Povetkin at bay. Those moments is when he was most exposed in the fight, and he can't afford to do that against other guys.
Yeah, he can't do that against Fury either. Because here's the thing: we can criticize Tyson Fury ever since he's coming back, but Tyson Fury is more agile, and he can jab you all night with that right hand from that position. So, I mean, Anthony Joshua, look, he was fighting a different opponent, much smaller, who stands forward, who's not as quick on his feet, who lunges in a lot, but shorter reach, but still a very dangerous opponent, very caliber opponent. But now he's going to have to fight guys who are bigger than Povetkin, obviously, going forward, who's got longer reach, who are much more bigger and stronger than him. So, yeah, he can't afford to do exactly, dropping his hand like that, being squared up, like his left hand being squared up like he was against Povetkin. So, he's still adjusting. I'm sorry?
I was just wondering, are you two interested in seeing the Dillian White fight? Because I think we all think it might be happening next.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind seeing it, but I just think the timing of it is like, not right now, because people want to see Joshua in with other heavyweights. That Wilder, the White rematch could wait. I guess people are. This is my thoughts. I think people are like, okay, can we just wait until maybe